Hi, I'm Kara.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome back to Crunchy Cozy Games.
So today we're giving you kind of an inside look at our game shelf, specifically our shelf of shame. That would be our games that we have acquired recently that we have not gotten to the table for various reasons.
Right.
So one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to show you some of the games, why we picked them up, why we're excited about them, but then also say, hey, here's why we haven't gotten them played just yet.
Yeah.
So I think you've got the first one.
Yeah. So we recently picked up War of the Ring, based on some of the recommendations that we got after our board game blind spots.
Right. Yeah, the thing to know is that we are both Lord of the Rings fans. We love the books, the movies, and just everything across the board. So this was a natural fit for both of us, and it's best at 2 players.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play this. I'm usually not super into, well, neither of us are really super into war games necessarily, but just the theming of this and the fact that it plays super well at 2 players just really drew us in.
So what's the reason we haven't gotten it to the table?
We have a toddler.
That is a big part of it. So lately our game playing has not been as much as we wanted to because it's been harder to get to bed. And then once we get to bed, neither one of us really has the energy for a full War of the Ring game. Now, what we do plan on doing is we've got this wonderful table here that has a removable top. So we'd love to set this up under and maybe play it over a couple of different nights.
We've done that with a couple of our bigger games on the heavier side where we have done exactly that and played it over several sessions, and it's been really successful. So we'll probably have to do that with this one.
Yeah, split it up a couple days.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one we picked up around my birthday, so around the same time as War of the Ring, and that is another one that we got from our board game blind spots, and that is Dune Imperium.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge Dune fan. I think you've liked the movies, right?
Yeah, I've liked the movies. I read the books. I read the first book.
Sure.
Ages ago.
So this one I'm really intrigued by because unlike the other Dune game that we have, which is kind of like the older one, the one that's more of a war game, this one is a worker placement / deck builder. It's got some really interesting mechanisms in it where what you are doing is you get influence with the different factions that then open up more work play opportunities for you. And then every round there's also kind of like a battle and a struggle that you get different rewards for.
Yeah, and I think I'm excited for this one because I like all of the things that are in this game, I think, more than I like the things that are in the other Dune game.
I think that's totally fair.
I think that I will enjoy this gameplay a lot more.
Yeah, and the reason we haven't gotten this one to the table is because the 2-player version of it is one of those where you have to play like with an AI, which is fine, but it really shines at 3 and 4 players, and unfortunately our gaming group has had some life changes, so it's just the 2 of us right now. Yeah. So we will get to this when that board game group gets back together.
Absolutely. I think next this is one that I actually got you for your birthday.
Oh,
so
yeah.
This was not an around your birthday. This was a for your birthday. And I will be honest, I don't know a lot about this game. I just know that it was on your list, and that's why I picked it up.
Yeah, this one has really intrigued me for some time. I mean, it's a good Euro game where you're kind of figuring out what products to sell and how the best to get them. It's another one that I've tried to look at the rule book a little bit, but just life has called. So this is the next one for us. In fact, underneath our table right now, this is set up because we're going to learn to play it very, very soon.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah.
Another
one that I was really excited about, but it goes to a series that you or I have not played.
We've never played any of the Unmatched games.
And I was really excited about this one because, one, it's perfect for 2 players. I mean, that is kind of what it was designed for, as a
Absolutely.
2-player dueling game. And then the other thing about this is it's Shakespeare. As a big theater person,
yes,
I love Shakespeare. I think the characters in this sound so unique. I have read over all of them, and it captures that theme so well. So I'm really excited to get this one to the table. It's really just a matter of we've been kind of in a cozy phase of gameplay right now.
After a tough bedtime, we really want to play something lighter or a little puzzly, and learning something new is not necessarily what we want to do.
Right.
So we're playing familiar games right now.
Yeah.
But this one will be great when we do get to that point.
Yeah, very soon, hopefully. I think the next one is another one that we got around my birthday.
Yeah.
And we talked about what all's going on right now. Yeah, this one's heavy.
It's a big box.
This is one that I've had my eye on for a while. Our local game shop had just one left. And so I just felt the need to go and scoop it up because this one is kind of a worker placement, but also it takes place over multiple ages. You're basically taking on the role of scientists, evil scientists maybe, and you're doing all sorts of projects. I mean, you might try to cure lycanthropy, or you might try to revive the dead, but it's really interesting how it plays out. It's kind of a spooky game, but the big thing for it is it's just a long teach.
Yeah.
So it's one that I want to tackle, but now that we're getting into fall, I'm kind of just waiting for spooky season.
Yeah, I do love a good spooky game during spooky season.
Yeah, so I think this is going to fit that perfectly.
Yeah. I think next up is Threads of Fate.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so we have talked about our post-curious games before, and we are currently playing through the previous one, Light in the Mist.
Right.
And I think the reason that we haven't played Threads of Fate is because we're kind of waiting to get done with Light in the Mist.
Right.
This is one of those games where once you play through it, you're kind of done with it. It is an interactive, kind of escape roomy kind of game. I really enjoyed playing Emerald Flame, which was one of the first Kickstarters that I backed.
Right.
And it was really exciting when this came out from Post Curious, and so I had to get it. Very excited to play this when we do get it to the table.
Yeah, looking at all the things that are included with it, I mean, you've got like cryptograms and like spinners and all sorts of maps and stuff that you go through.
They do a really good job of very like tactile pieces and tactile puzzles.
I don't know. I think everything that these guys do is absolutely brilliant. It's just a matter of, I mean, this is basically a legacy game.
It is, and you play it over 3 or 4, I don't know how many, 3 or 4 sessions that are anywhere from 1 to 3 hours-ish, depending on how quickly you can solve the puzzles.
The box for this one says 10 hours plus, so I imagine it's a couple of different sessions. But it also depends on how well you do puzzles. I know that there have been some times where we just can't see how obtuse the puzzle is, even though the solution is right there. So sometimes that takes time, and then when you figure it out, you're just like, okay, I'm done with this for this session.
They do also do a really good job of having like a clue and hint way to get those from them without giving anything away. It's really an elegant solution.
So yeah, we'll finish Light in the Mist and then we'll get to this one, but it's always good to support them because they do such great work.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the next one is a little bit different because it's not a classic board game. This is one that I took the opportunity to pick up when we were in Barnes & Noble because I had heard a lot of good stuff for it, and it just sounded right up our alley. And this one is Alice is Missing. So this is kind of like an RPG, like a smaller one-shot RPG. You are people from this small town that are investigating why this Alice has gone missing. And it plays out very interestingly. You all get characters that could be classmates or other people that know this woman. And then the whole game plays out over text messages. Like not like an app that you install, but like your actual phone text messages that you text.
Like you have a group chat.
Right. Well, and the key there is that you actually cannot talk to each other for the duration of the game. You can only take place during those text messages.
Weird.
Now then, as you go throughout the game, some evidence gets unveiled that might reveal that maybe you're a suspect in the case, or maybe somebody you think is a suspect in the case. And so there are kind of like break-offs and breakout rooms of people texting one another and revealing that information. So I think this is going to be super cool, but we're just waiting for the right opportunity.
And the right group, the right mix of people.
It's a little heavy. I mean, there's a nice warning on the back of it that says, here's some of the themes that you're dealing with, suicide, sexual assault, that type of thing. So it's not for everybody, but I think for adults that are interested in a story like that, this could be really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alice is Missing.
I think next on my list this is actually a 2-for-1.
Bonus games.
Yeah, this is two of the last two of these little small box games from All Play. Or actually, this one says BoardGameTables.com, so it's before their rebrand.
Right.
But we picked up several of these at the same time and have played most of them. But these are the two that are remaining.
Right. Well, and a big part of this is that these are both 3-player games. At least you have to have 3 players. This one's 3 to 4, and this one's 3 to 6. Couture, I know, is an auction game where you're basically trying to have the best dresses and fashion.
And auction games are really usually better at those like higher, like you don't really want to play it at 3, you want to play it at 6.
Yeah, exactly. And then 9 Lives, I don't know as much about. I'll be honest, when I was backing the games that came with this one, I saw that this was a cat game, and I thought, well, we need more cat games, obviously.
Yeah, we just haven't played it.
So we'll get those to the table, hopefully, as soon as we get our game group back together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the next one we have is pretty darn old. It's been sitting for over a year. I'm very disappointed that we haven't played it, and that is Western Legends. You don't love the Wild West.
It's not my favorite theme.
Where does it rank for you compared to, say, Space?
That's tough. I think I might like Space a little bit more as a board game theme.
That's so reason number 1 we haven't played this. It's the Wild West.
However, we have several Wild West games that I have thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah. I don't know that I would... Yeah, it's fine. So this one is totally unique in that it is an open world game. What that means is you get your player, you are on the map, and you can do what you want. You can play poker.
Interesting.
You can be an outlaw. You could be a cop or a sheriff if you wanted to. You could fight off people. You could just mine for gold. It is totally up to you.
You know what that says to me? That says that this game's going to take a long time.
It doesn't have to. I mean, it certainly can. There are different ways that you're scoring points. There's different tracks that you're going down. But I do feel like this one is not one for us to just play the 2 of us.
Yeah.
It plays up to 6 players, and I feel like at least 4 would be a sweet spot for it.
Yeah.
Because then you get that interaction. Like if I'm a sheriff and you're an outlaw, I've got somebody to track down.
Instead of just the abstract.
Right. Whereas if we're both outlaws, then who knows? Maybe we'll never interact with each other. So I'm very excited to play this one. I've seen a playthrough of it. It looks phenomenal. We just, again, need the right people with the right headspace and the right time to teach and play.
Yeah. So the last game on our shelf of shame is one that we've had it's been over a year.
Yeah.
This is Sleeping Gods. It is a legacy game. I know I'm really excited to play this, and we had originally planned on playing it with a specific group, and that has we've since decided that we're just going to play this, the 2 of us,
Sure.
and see how it goes.
Yeah.
I know I have started reading this rule book, and you have also started reading this rule book.
I've watched the video, like, rules explanations, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it's ready to go. It's just every night when we get down to it, and it's like, all right, what should we play tonight? I'm never like, let's start a campaign.
Right.
Because as far as legacy games go for us, we are 0 for at least 2 right now.
2.
I'm thinking of Pandemic and also Gloomhaven.
Well, and 2 separate campaigns of Gloomhaven, so
Right.
maybe 3.
So 0 for 3 as far as legacy games go. Now, I do put our odds a lot higher if it's just the 2 of us.
Yes.
Because we can get that done. But I think it's just that daunting aspect of, like, once we start it, we're going to be in it for a while.
We have to keep playing it. Yeah.
Now, I have heard that there's a lot of, like, extra stuff, like side missions and stuff that you can do so that it can take a long time, but you can also just kind of main story and critical path it, and it'll go over quicker. That's not the way I play games.
It is absolutely not.
I like to find all of the things. So when I think about a game like this, I'm looking at like 100-something hours.
Yeah.
And it seems great. I'm very excited about it, but we just have to take that first step.
Yep.
All right, so that kind of covers our shelf of shame / shelf of opportunity, but we want to hear from you guys. One, are there any recommendations of games that we should absolutely get to the table next? What should our next game be?
From this list, ideally, or not.
Right, yeah, maybe there's one that's missing in our collection that we still need to pick up. We also want to hear from you. What does your shelf of opportunity look like? What games have been sitting in your collection for a long time that you need to get to the table, and maybe we can make a recommendation your way.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's been us at Crunchy Cozy Games. Thanks for stopping by.